everybody, excited utterance here. My name's Hella, but am I hella mad today? Am I hella mad today? I don't know. I just read a document which, I don't know, it kind of blew my mind a little bit. I don't know if it made me hella mad or not. I think I need to read it again with my buddies. So I think guys, you need to tell everybody I'm live. Because this really happened just now. And it's early here. It's early here. I wasn't going to get up so early and start streaming today. It's Saturday morning. And I had no plans to go live today at all. None. In fact, I was thinking I'll have a lazy day. And I was going to make some pre-record videos today. Not about this at all. About something else. And then my good friend T-Bone, Mr. T-Bone Satchel Ilya, otherwise known as Dali Talk, sent me a little message, and I don't know why I didn't see it first, but Ms. Weineke, yes, over in Indiana, put up a Twitter post, or X, however you like to call it. Elon, we'll call it X for you. And it was very interesting. And I was like, thank you, Mr. T-Bone. I think that I need to stream. Let me show you guys if you haven't seen it already. Share tab instead. Weineke Law Office LLC, Mr. Brady v. Maryland has entered the chat. How interesting. And we have defendant's verified motion to preserve and produce specific evidence. We have a 6-page document. State of Indiana versus plaintiff Richard M. Allen, defendant. Yes, this is interesting, guys. This is very interesting. I wonder how this guy's feeling right now. He's good at playing. Time to say hello to people. Hello. Hey, Chilo. How are you? Hey, Ma. Happy Valentine's Day. Hello, gorgeous. Aw, it was Valentine's Day yesterday, and I had a bit of a sad Valentine's Day because no one wished me Valentine's Day yesterday. But thank you. You know what, JC? You're the first one. Congrats. That makes you my Valentine. Thank you. Kind of, this is bullshit. Happy Friday, bitches. Well, happy Saturday. Yeah. Half Irish is also saying happy Valentine's Day. Hey, Mavko, how are you? Dear. And who else we got here? Yeah, Dali's playing games. He's got 2 accounts now. A couple. Motions are just procedural, but they really seemed shocking. Look.
I don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend to.
He doesn't pretend to understand it. Deeps is here. It is an interesting thing, isn't it? Yes, indeed. John, thank God for this stream. Closings on ASAP Rocky are so snooze fest today. The lawyers are taking entirely too long. From what I saw, that was kind of interesting, but whatever. Hey, Delphi never sleeps. Nope. Hey, Dory, how are you? Is Hot Pocket here? There's Hot Pocket. Jojo's here. Hey, Jojo. And yes, Hot Pocket. Spicy Hot Pocket is here. Good to see you. And I think I saw Hey Ricky Bay. But first I'll say, hey Mads. How are you? Yeah, hey, Free Ricky Bay is here. Hello. Hey, hey, hey. And do we have 5 gifts? And, oh, John, happy Valentine's Day with a $5 super chat. You're sweet. How's your new apartment going, John? How's that going? Chilo, My Chemical Romance CD is burning as we speak. Bronze, my favorite Tasmanian and classic overthinker is here. Oh, CH. Mwah. And 5 excited utterance memberships by John Comment. Look, see, you're cheering me up all over the place, guys. Thank you. And I'm having my coffee. I'm having my coffee because I need to get my voice limit up. We have to read a document, everybody. Thank you so much for the memberships. Welcome, everybody. There's some really good member content coming really soon, guys. I'm working on it. Actually, that was what I was going to be working on if I hadn't gone live this morning. But let's do this first. Let's do this first. People in court is here. How are you? Are you getting my hopes up again? You're cute. People in Court has a really good channel, by the way, guys. Make sure you subscribe to that. Okay, let's get into it. So, if you don't know what a Brady violation is, I'm sure you guys all do, but a Brady violation basically means that the prosecution kept hidden some evidence from the defense throughout the discovery process, throughout the trial, and it could have been exculpatory. It doesn't, the prosecution doesn't get to decide what's exculpatory or what could be exculpatory. The defense gets to decide that. So if there's evidence that they were keeping, we're talking documents, physical evidence, anything like that. If people talk about Brady Giglio, Giglio is testimonial evidence. So we're talking about discoverable evidence like documents and crime scene photos, things like that, DNA, anything like that. In this case, we're talking about information from a well, we'll go into it in a moment, but information from an informant. So there's documents there that were potentially hidden from the defense, were not handed over in discovery. You remember the very famous Brady violation that allowed a dismissal with prejudice for Alec Baldwin. So the other Baldwin. And we saw that happen, play out in court, in open court, and his case was dismissed, and dismissed with prejudice means it's over, done. And he walked from a charge that could have landed him in prison. So Mr. Allen's already in prison, as we know. So this is a motion that is part of his lead up to his appeal. So let's have a look at it. Let's read it together. Not that. I have downloaded, I've only got the images at the moment. I have asked Cara if she could send me the PDF, and it's not on All Eyes yet. This is literally just like 2 hours ago. Brand new. Oh, hey, All Eyes. You don't have it yet, All Eyes? You have the PDF? How are you, mate? I was looking on your Google Drive and I couldn't see it yet. But if you have it, it'd be awesome. If you could let me know. Good to see you. It's when you bring back an idol from Hawaii and you weren't supposed to, so you end up with a curse. I thought it was Marrakesh. Big Fairy is here. Hey, how are you? What's up, Grace Base? You're lurking again. It's cool. People are getting your hopes up again. Look, let's all just stay calm, because you know how these things tend to go. Let's not get too excited. But yeah, sure. All right, let's start. But there's some pretty big damning allegations in here. So, defendant's verified motion to preserve and produce specific evidence. Richard Allen, by counsel, now comes before the court with his verified motion, well, this has been written quickly, motion, and moves this court to order the state of Indiana to preserve certain specific evidence and to produce that evidence to the defense. In support of the motion, Richard Allen states the following. Helen manifested me. Yes, I did. All eyes, come to me. On February 12, 2025, Richard Allen's counsel, Andrew Baldwin, met with inmate Ricky Davis at Newcastle Correctional Facility. Now, remember Ricky Davis. He is the one who wrote one of the two notes about Ron Logan confessing to the killings of the two girls. Remember him? Okay. So, Mr. Baldwin went and met with him. Went, hey, how's it going? He, Ricky Davis, talked with Ron Logan about the Delphi murders on multiple occasions. Over the course of time, Logan confessed to his involvement in the murders along with two other people. Yeah, classic overthinker. He went and saw him. Went, hey. During those conversations, Logan provided certain details of the crime that only the actual killer would know. We keep hearing that, don't we? But never divulged who the other two people involved in the murders were. In or around March 2024, this is important, March 2024, Keegan Kline was placed in the same general area as Ricky Davis. And at some point, apparently learned that Ricky Davis had talked to Ron Logan while Logan was incarcerated in Newcastle. Isn't this getting cozy? Yes, very interesting. Isn't this interesting? What a bunch of savory characters all having little chitty chats. Over time, Kline began questioning Ricky Davis as to Ricky Davis's conversations with Ron Logan and whether Logan had ever mentioned his, Keegan Kline's, name to Ricky Davis during those conversations. Right. I just need to open up the next one. Hang on. Let's make sure I don't open up in my StreamYard tab and then end up closing myself out of my own stream, which I've done before. Okay, Ricky Davis began to realize that Kline may have been one of the other members of the crew that Logan described as being involved in the murders. What? Say what now? Say what now? Okay. It gets worse, guys. It gets a lot worse. Over time, Keegan Kline, began to reveal information about the Delphi murders that corroborated details Ron Logan had revealed to Ricky Davis several years earlier. Some of the details Keegan Kline provided to Ricky Davis are the types of details that could only be known by someone involved in the killings. Hang on a minute. Keegan Kline gave details to Ricky Davis, the type of details that could only be known by someone involved in the killings. I'm wondering if they're like real details, like not the kind of things like a van went past and there's a box cutter. Right, Grace Base? This is getting ridiculous. What the hell? I hear those types of details are important. Well, they're important to some people, but I have a feeling we're talking about actual real details now. See? These conversations between Ricky Davis and Keegan Kline occurred all the way up to the guilty verdict. What? At which time Kline expressed his relief that he, Kline, would no longer be a viable suspect in the murders due to Richard Allen's conviction. What? What? They were talking all the way up to Richard Allen being found guilty? Wait, is Andy in here? Where's Andy? Oh, you talking? Oh, sorry. I thought Andy was in chat. You're talking about Andy Baldwin. Like, so much stuff's happening. Okay. Not knowing whether Richard Allen could be the third person involved in the murders, Ricky Davis asked Keegan Kline whether Mr. Allen was the third person involved in the murders. Kline replied that Richard Allen was not the third person and had nothing to do with the murders. Well, isn't that nice of him? Keegan Kline further revealed to Ricky Davis that he, Kline, and Logan knew each other through the sharing of CP. Oh, look, they're good old mates from their old child prawn days. And they shared on burner phones. And that further, they, Kline and Logan, would see each other every 3 to 6 months so that Kline could assist Logan with using the burner phones because Logan was inept working with electronic devices. He was a boomer. Guys, he was a boomer, but he really wanted to share his CP. Oh. No, vomit. Vomit. Oh. Yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Oh. Ricky Davis further explained that once Keegan Kline began revealing his role in the murders, sometime in the summer and fall of 2024, before Mr. Allen's October trial, he, Ricky Davis, began sending letters to Nick McClelland, providing many of the details. Sorry. Let's start that again. Ricky Davis further explained that once Keegan Kline began revealing his role in the murders, sometime in the summer and fall of 2024, before Mr. Allen's October trial, he, Ricky Davis, began sending letters to Nick McClelland, providing many of the details of his, Ricky Davis's, conversations with Keegan Kline in 2024 and Ron Logan in 2017. What? He sent letters to Nick? Sorry, what? Sorry, what? He sent letters? What? What happened to those letters, Nick? Ricky Davis indicated that he believes he sent as many as 8 letters to McClelland's office. Hereinafter, the Davis letters. let's call them the Davis letters, shall we? And presumed that McClelland was sharing the contents of those letters with Richard Allen's defense team, because you know what it would be otherwise? A Brady violation. I'm sure he doesn't know what a Brady violation is, but that's a Brady violation. That's Brady. That's Brady right there. If he didn't shed. Oh, look, my dog agrees. Did you hear that? Even my dog knows what a Brady violation is. Simple. Wow. Okay. Attorney Baldwin met with Ricky Davis on March 27, 2024, and learned very limited information from Ricky Davis, who encouraged Baldwin to watch a videotaped interview law enforcement conducted years earlier. He met with Ricky Davis March 27, 24, so almost a year ago, and learned very limited information from Ricky Davis, who encouraged him to watch a videotaped interview law enforcement conducted years earlier. Okay, so he wasn't that cooperative back then, but he was sending letters to the prosecutor. That's interesting. Okay, so at their February 12, 2025 meeting, so just the other day, Ricky Davis further admitted that when Attorney Baldwin met with Ricky Davis on March 27, 2024, that he, Ricky Davis, did not provide all the details that he knew at the time to Attorney Baldwin for two reasons. One, he, Ricky Davis, had not yet heard of the many details that Keegan Kline ultimately provided him, including that Keegan Kline was involved in the crime and that he, Keegan Kline, knew Ron Logan. Jesus Christ. And two, at the time he met with Attorney Baldwin in 2024, he, Ricky Davis, could not be sure whether Richard Allen was one of the other two people that Ron Logan described as also being involved with the murders. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. Mr. Davis stated that he was guarded during their March 27, 2024 meeting with Baldwin because he, Davis, hang on. It's interesting he uses the word guarded. I don't know whether he means like physically guarded or like he was holding back. I think he means he was holding back. Hang on, I just have to get to the next page. Meeting with Baldwin because he did not necessarily want to assist Richard Allen's defense counsel if he, Richard Allen, was one of the three men that Ron Logan stated was involved in the murders. Okay, so, all right, so he's saying that he didn't necessarily want to help the defense if Richard Allen was involved and he wasn't sure back in March 2024 because he's such a good guy. This Ricky Davis dude. Yeah, he means he was holding back the ladder. I don't think guarded is the best word to have used considering he was in prison. But yeah, sure. Hey, CT girl. Yeah. Hey, Vic Ferry, if you only saw or was told of Keegan Kline or another handling the phone, RL might have misunderstood what was happening. Okay. How are you? It's Trenton. Okay. Again, in his March 27, 2024 meeting with Baldwin, Ricky Davis told Baldwin that he, Baldwin, could learn the details of what Ricky Davis told law enforcement by watching his videotaped interview that law enforcement should have in their possession from when they, law enforcement, interviewed him sometime years before at their February 12, 2025 meeting. Ricky Davis was shocked to learn that Baldwin had never received this videotaped interview. Okay, let's just digest this. So again, in his March 2024 meeting with Baldwin, Ricky Davis told Baldwin that he could learn the details of what Ricky told law enforcement by watching his videotaped interview that law enforcement should have in their possession from when they interviewed him years before, right? So at the meeting just a couple days ago, Ricky was shocked to learn that Baldwin had never received the videotaped interview. Okay, so there's a videotaped interview. So far we're talking about a videotaped interview from years ago that the defense never got. And we're also talking about 8 emails or letters that the defense never got. Right? So that's where we're at right now. Videotaped interview, 8 emails or / letters. That's missing. Yeah, we're totally shocked, Soraya, right? Seraph is here. He's asleep behind one of my monitors. Seraph, do you want to come out?
No.
Seraph is in shock. Following his March 27, 2024 visit with Ricky Davis, the next day, March 28, 2024, at 11:49 p.m., Attorney Baldwin emailed both Nick McClelland and Stacey Diener requesting that they turn over law enforcement's videotaped interview of Ricky Davis, in which Davis presumably provided the details on Ron Logan's confession on videotape. So hang on a minute. Following his March 27, 2024 visit with Ricky Davis, the next day. Okay, so he asked for it the very next day. That was at 11:49 p.m. He emailed Nick and Stacey and requested that they turn over the videotaped interview, in which Davis presumably provided the details of Ron Logan's confession on videotape. To date, the prosecution has never provided any videotaped Ricky Davis interview to the defense, nor explained why it has not done so, nor stated no such videotape exists, and have ignored the request. Well, why hasn't this been brought up before, or has it? Have I missed it, guys? Actually, okay. So in order for there to be a Brady violation, like the actual the evidence needs to appear, right? So they can't, like the evidence can't just like not be around. There needs to be, the evidence needs to be there, and then the defense has to go, look, you surprised me with that. So it needs to come from somewhere. Like it can't just be like some random person or prisoner going, oh, it exists, but then it just never eventuates. You can't find it. So someone has to find it, and then they can go and make a Brady motion and go, hey, look, you never gave it to me, and there it is. So these emails and the videotape, it needs to be found. But someone can prove me wrong on that. I've never seen a Brady motion on evidence that hasn't actually been either brought up by the prosecution or been found by the defense. Like, there it is. There it is. There's that evidence, and you never gave it to us. Hey, Kat. I love the way you read some Brady. Today's a good day to feel violated. Okay. I mean, unless Baldwin has a copy of these emails, like has managed to find them, Okay. To date, the prosecution then provide any videotaped Ricky Davis interview. We just read that. Okay. The approximate 8 letters Ricky Davis claims he sent to McClelland in the months leading up to October 24 trial would contain multiple layers of exculpatory evidence which the defense could have used to further its investigation as to whether certain facts contained in those letters could be verified through crime scene photographs, digital data, and a variety of other means. Well, it would, if it exists, if they can find it. And guys, I'm not suggesting these emails don't exist, right? But they got to be found. And they're from this guy who is, I don't know if he was in prison at the time, I assume he was, and they went to state prosecutors. So you'd need an external digital forensics person to go through the state prosecutor's emails and try and pull them out. So good luck with that. Right? Oh, Ange, how are you? Are you still away, love? Are you having fun? We miss you. Oh, you're always beautiful, but thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll call it Galentine's Day because you're a gal, and I'll say Happy Galentine's Day. You be my Galentine. I only just learned that term. My daughter told me it. Okay. All right. So defense counsel have never seen the Davis letters. Yeah, see, this is a problem. I wish they had. I wish they'd just seen them. I wish they had them right now. That would be fantastic. Nor known of their existence until after the trial when defense counsel met with Mr. Davis on February 12, 2025. Also, the prosecutor has never informed the defense counsel of the existence of any such letters. Eek. Imagine how he would have, like, Andy Baldwin goes and visits this dude, right? And this dude says to him, I emailed Nick and Stacy, I emailed them 8 times. 8 times in the last year. And told them all this stuff. And didn't you get that? I assumed that they were giving it all to you because aren't they supposed to give it all to you in discovery? Isn't that how it works? Sorry. And this is what? The day before yesterday. Imagine how Andy's feeling. And he's like, great. Really? Good luck getting it. Well, he's got to make a record of this, but good luck getting it. Two things filed today. There's one. Sorry, I won't go off tangent. All eyes probably answer you on that one. Okay. And how are you, Ariel? Okay. On the evening of February 12th, 2025, Defense Counsel Baldwin sent an email to Nick McClelland and his in-house investigator, Steve Mullen. Good old Steve. Requesting they produce both the Davis, I think he means the Davis letters, produce both the Davis, those letters, and any video recording in their possession of an interview with Ricky Davis. McClelland's response was vague, non-responsive to the defense request, and did not indicate whether he, McClelland, ever received those letters, nor whether he sent those letters to the defense. In other words, McClelland never confirmed or denied the existence of said. Hang on. Where are we up to? Page 4. Yep. the existence of said letters. Neither did he confirm or deny that he provided those aforementioned Ricky Davis letters to defense counsel. Well, isn't that unusual? How very unusual for Nick to just go, yeah, I don't know. Or just to say nothing. Or it'd be just, a bit obtuse. A little bit obtuse. Good on you, Nick. Good on you, Nick, for being consistent. You don't surprise us, Nick, ever. Yes. Yes, they were. Grey space. Yeah, I think this is super interesting that Keegan Kline and Ron Logan, they were hanging out together and swapping CP, and they'd actually get together to swap CP, and Keegan Kline would be his tech support buddy, help him with burner phones. Because Ron Logan's a boomer, doesn't understand how to do the burner phone thing. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. On February 13, 2025, at 3:54 p.m., Attorney Baldwin sent another email to McClelland asking straightforward questions. Did you receive multiple letters from Ricky Davis in the months leading up to Richard Allen's October 2024 trial? Sounds like a fair question to me. And if so, did you turn those letters over to the defense? These should be questions easily answered and quickly answered. Yes. Yes, no. That's it. That's all he had to say. If McClelland never received such letters, he should know that answer immediately, since Ricky Davis claims that he, Ricky Davis, sent the letters directly to Nick McClelland. If McClelland did receive such letters, he should know that answer immediately. Further, if he did receive such letters, he should very quickly be able to identify the dates that he sent those letters to the defense and how he sent them to the defense, i.e. email, e-discovery, etc. Well, that all sounds fine, doesn't it? You know how email works? Like, it sits in your inbox and you go search Davis from to Baldwin, and it brings them all up. You can even do it by date range. Really easy. It's email, apparently, Chivo. Yeah. It's like so easy. Much easier than digging through a bunch of paper. Although, Miss Shank, she likes paper. She likes her filing cabinet. Fig Fairy. This all implies a possible ring could be why the girl RL allegedly essayed never came forward. Oh, it implies it. It screams it out. It's a lot of steps. You don't know if it can handle that. No. This is technical wizardry. Oh, I can see something like that. It's like, oh, whoops, it went into spam. The spam folder. It got picked up by the spam fairies. Mm-hmm. 9. As of the time of the filing of this document, McClelland has failed to answer these simple, straightforward questions. Yep. The defense has reviewed all e-discovery from March 2024 to the present to determine whether the prosecution provided the Davis letters to the defense to determine if those letters were hidden amongst other discovery. The defense found no such letters penned by Ricky Davis addressed to Nick McClelland in the e-discovery. Well, there you go, chat. There you go. The defense has reviewed all emails during the applicable time frame to determine whether McClelland ever forwarded an email with attached letters from Ricky Davis. No such emails exist. The defense requests that the court order McClelland's office, as well as any law enforcement agency, to preserve any letters from Ricky Davis in their possession and further to turn them over to the defense immediately. Wow, you would hope they'd preserve them, but remember, Judge Gull was not too keen to preserve evidence. The defense similarly requests the court order McClelland's office, as well as any law enforcement agency, to preserve any video recording of an interview with Ricky Davis in their possession, and further to turn such video recordings over to the defense immediately. This is all like you would think this goes without saying, but I mean, you've got to put it in the record. So where are we now? Page 5. Shares tab instead. The defense is concerned that without an order from the court, the prosecution and or law enforcement may lose the Davis letters, as well as the videotaped interview of Ricky Davis, or that the state of Indiana may refuse to turn them over to the defense. Well, they wouldn't do that, would they, chat? They do that? You must remember, if he did not send it in triplicates, it's as if they were really not sent. It is the well-lit shade. This is a really, like, I'd be surprised if these things exist. And Nick McClelland most likely will say that this Ricky Davis dude is lying. I'm putting it out there right now. He's just going to go, he's lying. Didn't get anything. Lying. He's a lying liar who lies. He's a criminal. He lies. That's what he does. He lies. Nothing there. Lie, lie, lie. Of course, maths. Yeah, he needed to send it by registered mail, maths. So basically, Nick may also be covering up for, yeah, them. Of course. But when it comes down to it, he will do anything to preserve this guilty verdict. Would Ricky Davis not have a record of sent emails from his end with dates, etc.? Probably not. Even if he did, like, how's he going to get access to it? I mean, I don't know how prison email works. You think this dude is lying too? But if the comms exist, the defense should have received it. I don't know if he's lying or not. I'd love to know about the claims of Ron Logan and Keegan Kline knowing one another, and being in contact with one another. Guys in chat, has that ever come out before? Because I didn't know about that. Please tell me if anyone knew about that. Because if that's new, then that can be followed up without this dude. Right? So the whole idea of those two being in cahoots, that can be investigated to see whether or not he's being truthful about that. So yeah, I'm really curious about that part. Has anyone ever heard of that before? Yeah, feel free to let me know. Didn't RL die before KK was arrested? 2020, 21. Yeah, I think so. Oh, can't remember the timing on that one. But yeah, I'm not sure whether Keegan was ever in prison or jail prior. As a side person, I can assure you he's not like us. Okay, let's keep going. I'm trying to think that through in my head. Okay. The defense's concern is well founded based upon law enforcement's history in this case of losing evidence. Losing evidence, as documented before during trial, including claiming that they taped over certain important videotaped interviews. Yep. Shade. The defense can produce a witness with admissible evidence that, in the months before Mr. Allen's trial, the prosecution received some number of letters from Ricky Davis and that those letters had been given to the people investigating the case. What? Okay, so the defense can produce a witness with admissible evidence that, in the months before Mr. Allen's trial, the prosecution received some number of letters from Ricky Davis and that those letters had been given to people investigating the case. All right, so they can show that Ricky Davis had been writing letters and that they existed. So he's not like completely inept and not able to contribute to the case. So he is contributing. The defense has a constitutional right to know of the existence of the Davis letters. Yes, they do. So that the defense could conduct its own investigation concerning the content of those letters, including conducting depositions that would naturally flow from the facts alleged in those letters. Had the defense known of the Davis letters before trial, it could have used those letters to further its investigation, present them to court at the hearing on August 1, 2024, on third-party suspect culpability, which would have been thrown out, but that's not the point, and factored the information contained in those letters into its trial strategy. Had the defense received those letters after the verdict, then the defense could have incorporated those letters into its motion to correct error. But hey, none of that happened. Yeah, KK arrested in 2022, RL died in Jan 2022. Seems like bullshit to me. But RL was in prison earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if KL was in jail or prison for a stint earlier as well. We need to go back in time. But not even that they potentially met then. They could have met through this ring. Through this CP ring. Wasn't he in prison a couple of times? I would not be surprised. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the defendant respectfully requests that the court order the prosecution and any law enforcement agency, 1, to preserve any letters from Ricky Davis in their possession, 2, to immediately turn over to the defense any letters from Ricky Davis in their possession, 3, to preserve any video recordings of interviews with Ricky Davis in their possession, 4, to immediately turn over to the defense any recordings of interviews with Ricky Davis in their possession, and 5, to preserve all records in whatever form. And we need to get to another page. Communication devices. Communication, electronic or other, including emails, text messages pertaining to Ricky Davis. I affirm under penalty for perjury and foregoing representations are true. Wow, 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 wow. Guys. What do you think? What do you think? I'll just look at some of the comments on X. This motion to tell the appeals court, you see what we're dealing with here? Unless Ricky was also in the ring, it's all tall tales. Look, it sounds hopeful on the surface, but I can see what Nick's going to say. He's just going to say, no, didn't receive anything, and this dude's a big liar. Damn it. But I want to know. I want to know more about this. I want to know, is this real? Was Ron Logan, were Ron Logan and Keegan Kline in on this together? And who are these other two people? Who are they? Because I feel like the real truth of what happened is starting to come together. I feel like maybe we're starting to hear more of what really happened. Because like the whole idea that Keegan Kline is not involved in any way whatsoever, just that doesn't make any sense, does it? Does it? It seems kind of weird. So for him to know Ron Logan and for him to have been involved in luring the girls there, and then for Ron Logan to have been one of the people to have been involved in the actual act, and for them to have been colluding together, but for Ron Logan to not have been the only person to have done it, for there to have been other people involved, and for them to have staged this crime scene in such a way that it looked like a ritual. That all starts to make a lot more sense to me. Don't forget the appellate court aren't concerned with truth or justice. Their main priority is finality of these things. Oh, I know. I'm not getting my hopes up about any of this stuff. I think that there are a couple of hopes when it comes to the appellate court. They need to make sure that they're, well, when it comes to the third party culprit thing, that's potentially not a harmless error. And there are a lot of arguments in there that that could get up. I'm not sure about the safekeeping hearing one. That's possible as well, because him not having a lawyer at that stage and being put into prison, that did affect his defense at trial. But it's so rare for these things to be successful at appeal. But I'm hoping. I think like it's great that Andy has gone and visited this guy and gotten this information out and got it on the record so quickly. I just think that Nick is going to say he's a big liar and I didn't receive anything. Wonder if you could FOIA McClellan emails. Of course you could FOIA his emails. He's a government employee. Yes, you could. But would it be successful? This is the thing, right? FOIAs don't seem to work in Indiana, right? They're just it's like some sort of fairy tale land that's not like the rest of the US. Like you can FOIA people's emails all over the place, but there, nah. I don't know why. What's going on? It's so weird. You can't get to them. Yeah, KO. You can't get to them. They're on a private server. What? Yeah, rules of law don't seem to work. What is with that? What is with that? It's so weird. It is so weird. I've not seen, and all the time that I've been streaming and involved in this stuff, and Dali usually does the FOIAs, and we get a lot of stuff via FOIA from other people. It's never have we come across anything like this before. This is so strange. What's this? I already did it for you. I have copied the response. How do you do that? That's so cool. I want to redact my chats. Considering Nick denied a request that law literally says cannot be denied. Yeah. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. All right. So I am really interested in seeing what his response is going to be, although I can already tell you what it's going to be. It's going to, like, guys, am I wrong? He's going to say didn't receive anything and Ricky Davis is a liar. Right? Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Am I like some sort of what do you call it? Am I a complete clairvoyant or what? All right, cool. I'm gonna finish up now, and I will. Looks like R&M is going to go live pretty shortly. I'll chuck you over to there. Chuck you over to there. Why not, indeed? You might be doing an emergency broadcast. So yeah, we'll head over there. Let me chat about it more. Cool. Alrighty. Here's my big takeaway. The defense has a source for this. If someone in the DA's office flipped, it's a nuke from orbit. 2 out of 10 motion. My hometown doctor was clearing out elderly and chronically ill patients to make room for the child patients he was caught exploiting. Ooh, never charged for killing my aunt. Oh, that's terrible, Fig. Very similar culture to Delphi. That's terrible, mate. All right, guys, let's go. Oh, how far is... How did you do that? Oh, it's just black little emojis. Okay, cool. Time for the song, guys, and I'll see you over at Angie's. Also, watch out. There's some really cool content coming soon. There has been some photos floating around that have been designed to fool you, and I've found them. So keep your notification bell on heavy. There's some stuff coming really soon. Alrighty.
Her name was Ella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 8 or 3. To be said.